I have been living in the United States for more than 11 years, and since I arrived, I haven't had the opportunity to go to Colombia. In this video, I will share my experience of returning after 11 years, the cultural shock, what I miss the most, and what I bring from this experience. Hello everybody to EVE Trips BBB. Bueno, bonito y barato. Last year was the year. Many good things happened, including winning the lottery and changing from a student visa to work visa. Check out my video on the journey from an international student to work permit and what do I mean when I say I win the lottery. Cultural shock, weather. I live in a northern state in the United States and I decided to visit Colombia during the winter season. I arrived to Bogota, known as the fridge. But the truth is when I arrived, it was so warm for me. But I wasn't like that. I even used to wear gloves during summer in the United States, and people used to laugh on me. Cultural shock, personal space. There was a long line at immigration in Colombia, and the difference in personal space in Colombia surprised me. Personal space is less emphasized in Colombia compared to the United States, and I kind of already used to that. A little bit about my experience, ##. I didn't tell to my family about my arrival because I wanted to surprise them, in special to my grandma. We told her that my uncle is going to wait for her at the airport, but the idea was that instead of him, it will be me. I arrived on Saturday to Colombia, and I got lucky to have my friends over there. And they wait for me with a sign, smiles, and hugs. They invite me to a traditional crepes and waffles. And I was so excited when they told me that. And they just smiled to see how happy I was with small things. The night was short, for a lot of stories to tell. This Sunday arrived, and I waited for my grandma at the airport. And the tears were not enough, even these moves who were seeing us at that moment. Later, my friends invited us to the La Granja Tenjo. And finally, I could enjoy my Colombia during daylight. See its scenic views, mountains. That was something I was really missing from my country. Cultural shock, security. Despite my initial concerns about security, I was really worried more than I should about it. I really enjoy when people recognize my accent, and that made me feel that I still belonging to there. And I was proud of it. I really enjoyed my visit to Bogota, walk through the downtown, feel the friendly people around me, and negotiate the prices. What made me feel like I never left. Something that I noticed is that people used to carry their phones on their front. Instead, I used to put it on the back pocket of the jean. Unfortunately, the safety is still a problem in Colombia, and that breaks my heart. Even the bakery of the corner has a security guard for them. Something that really surprised me was the normalization of smartphones because before I left, they were considered as a luxury. And I also noticed the increase of start typing more often in Colombia. Cultural shock, money exchange. Adapting to the currency exchange was challenging through the trip for me. What was expensive? What was cheap? I always had to borrow money because my calculations were not right. It was really strange for me to see a dish on a restaurant for 50,000 pesos instead of 20. Seeing that amount of money, it was very strange experience for me. About my experience, ##. And the news about my arrival spread through the family very fast, and I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. And back to Cali, where I am from, I had it clear. No time for diet during my stay. And I ate a lot. I ate arepas, empanadas, Colombian hot dogs, yeah, they are different, ice cream, bread, like we say in Spanish, pan from Cali, and more and more. Let me tell you, I gained 10 pounds in 1 month. I thought I would see my city very changed, but it wasn't like that. It changed, but not that much I was expecting. I was expecting to see a lot of Venezuelan people, but I didn't see them so much, It looks like they are starting migrating already. Cultural shock, polarized cars. I noticed a lot of polarized cars. And it is not for what you maybe think. It is not because of the sun. It is for safety. So people avoid to do something to people inside the car because they don't know what is expecting for them in the other side. Cultural shock, motorcycles. I was surprised with all the amount of motorcycles, and that made me feel a little nervous. But at the end of my journey, I had my own smartphone, one not that expensive obviously, and riding motorcycles like cultural shock, Uber. Something that surprised me is like you can pay your Uber using cash. That is really nice for tourists. Cultural shock, riding in the front in Uber. Something that I didn't like was that some people say that Uber is now official jet in Colombia. So, some of them ask you to ride with them in the front seat. Cultural shock by driving habits. How people drive in Colombia made me nervous. It is like they just drive through any space they see. They don't respect the distance between cars and motorcycles. It makes me also sad to see my city has been deteriorating, and it has a lot of street holes as well. Cultural shock, seat belt. I used to put my seat belt when I'm in a car, even if I am a passenger in the back seat. And none of the car has one functional seat belt, or it has been never been in use. Cultural shock, no respect for pedestrians. Most of the places don't give the way to pedestrians. Sadly, they had to run for their life, literally. Cultural shock, noise. In Colombia, definitely the street noise is very loud, and work and sleep was a little difficult for me in the beginning. Cultural shock without electricity. It was kind of surprise for me how often we can lose the electricity and how much time can we get it back. Cultural shock, absence of transit guards. Absence of transit guards on accidents or even when the traffic lights were gone. It didn't matter if the city was in complete chaos. That was really sad. I also noticed how my city has been careless and how many street holes has it. Cultural shock, a lot of policemen. Something that surprised me was to see a lot of policemen in the tourist places. People used to say that place is safe until certain hour. There are many policemen taking care of the place, and that was really nice. Cultural shock, escalators. Well, in the United States, people that decide to advance goes in the left side of the escalator. Well, in Colombia, people just wait for the stairs to end. Sometimes I want to advance, and people look at me pretty weird, to be honest. About my experience, a lot of invitations, appointments, and take advantage of my time over there to do some aesthetic operations. Nah, I just kidding. I just do some aesthetic treatments. And it's really cheap over there. I just want to give a lot of thanks for making me feel so special during my stay in Colombia. To have the opportunity to meet my nephew and niece and share my time with my family during Christmas and New Year don't have a price for me. Everything about this trip was magical for me. It was like I was learning about my culture and country again. And the most worthy thing I learned from this trip is to remember for where I'm coming from. And I'm proud to say that I'm from Santa Elena neighborhood in Cali. And even I am not in this moment like I would like to be, I am definitely a better version of me than the Evelyn from 11 years ago. For the last week, I was missing my house, my space, my routine. Because the truth is that I'm not from here, but I don't belong to there anymore. My heart is here, but it's also there. God allows me to back soon, and I hope to create more content for you, and this time for another place in the world. I have a Google Maps with all the itinerary. It's totally free for you. Please check in the description for more information. Thanks for watching.